All right, Alexander and Steve. So let's continue with our economic section. So in the last session, we were discussing this chapter revenue, and until now in this chapter, we have discussed the meaning of the revenue, wherein I have told you revenue is basically the amount collected by a seller or a producer or a firm on account of sale of certain quantity of commodity in the market at a certain price. And we can we can understand the concept of revenue by dividing it into three categories that were basically the total revenue, the marginal revenue, and the average revenue. Total revenue is the total sum collected by the producer or the firm or seller on account of sale of total quantity of a commodity. And average revenue is the revenue generated per unit of output, and marginal revenue is the revenue generated on account of sale of one extra unit of the commodity. So all of these things we have discussed in the last session. We have done few questions based on the concept of revenue. Then I think I'm not able to recall. Could you please tell me what we have done apart from this, Alexander? We have started the concept of relationship between the TR or MR. Yes or no?
Sir, no, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So let's start with the concept of relationship. Just a minute. Okay. So we have understood the concept of the meaning of revenue. Then we have also understood the types of revenue. We have understood the definition of each and every type of revenue. Moving on forward, so we have to discuss relationship between the concept of revenue. So just a minute. Okay. So Alexander, in order to understand the concept of revenue, the relationship, we have basically two types of relationship in this chapter. We have to discuss the relationship. Just a minute. Yeah. So we will be discussing about the relationship between the total revenue and marginal revenue. Okay. Other than this, we will be talking about the relationship between the average revenue and marginal revenue. Okay. So there are two types of relationship in this chapter that we will have to cover: relationship between the average and the marginal, and the total and the marginal. But these relationships are discussed in context of two different market situations. So try to pay attention here. Before understanding anything, before understanding relationship, what exactly the relation is between the total revenue and marginal revenue, or average revenue and marginal revenue, we have to understand that there are two types of market, and the relationship between TR, MR, and AR and MR depends upon the market situation. So in order to understand the relationship between total and marginal, or average or marginal revenue, we will have to first understand the types of market. So Alexander, there are two types of market situation. So what do you mean by market? Market is basically a place where seller will be going to sell his output, where seller will be selling his product to the consumer. So broadly classifying the market, we can categorize into two parts. So there is perfect competition market. Market can be a perfect competition market, or it can be an imperfect competition market. Perfect competition and imperfect competition. So basically we can categorize the market into two broad categories: perfect and the imperfect. So we actually in our syllabus, according to our syllabus, we have a dedicated chapter about market where we will be talking about the market and the forms of market in very detail. But as far as this chapter is concerned, we are just we will be just talking about what are the different types of market. And for now, we won't be discussing anything about the perfect competition and imperfect competition in detail. So there is one thing that I'll be teaching you about the market in this chapter only. That will be, there are two types of market, perfect competition and the imperfect competition. What is perfect competition? Perfect competition is a form of market where there are large number of buyers and seller does not change the price of the commodity. In case of perfect competition, it is presumed that perfect competition market is a situation where seller can sell any quantity of commodity at the same price. Any quantity of commodity at same price will be sold in market. So what do you mean by quantity will be sold at same price? It basically means that if seller wants to sell 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 100 unit or 1000 unit, there will be no need to change the price of the commodity. Basically, in case of perfect competition, he can charge the same price for any quantity. Whether he wants to sell 1 unit or 2 unit or 1000 unit or 1 lakh unit, he will be charging same price. So basically, in case of perfect competition, the price of the commodity remains constant. Okay, all right. So this is the type of, this is one type of market where seller can sell the commodity at the same price. Let's talk about imperfect competition. So imperfect competition, we will be talking about imperfect competition in detail in the in this particular chapter, in the chapter of market. But for now, just understand that imperfect competition is a type of market wherein seller can sell any quantity at, in order to sell more quantity, seller or firm will have to reduce the price of the commodity. Reduce price of commodity basically means that seller can only sell more quantity of a commodity after reducing the price of the commodity. That means, let's suppose seller used to sell 100 unit and he used to sell 100 unit at rupees 20 each. But let's suppose if he wants to sell 200 units, then he will have to give a discount to the customer and he will have to charge less for the 200 unit. That means every unit he will be selling it now at rupees 18 per unit. And similarly, if you want to sell more units, 300, then he will have to further reduce the price of the commodity. And as the quantity of the commodity will increase, he will have to offer more discount to the customer, and only then he will be able to sell more quantity of the commodity. So this is the basic difference between the perfect and the imperfect competition. So in case of perfect competition, what I have told you that seller can sell any number of quantity at the same price. He is not required to reduce the price of the commodity. Either he wants to sell 1 unit or 1000 unit, he can sell any quantity at the same price, whatever the price market have decided. But in case of imperfect competition, seller will be able to sell more quantity only after reducing the price of the commodity. So this is the basic difference between the perfect and the imperfect competition. And depending upon the form of market, depending upon the type of market, whether seller is selling the product in the perfect competition or he is selling the product in the imperfect competition, depending upon the type of market, the relationship between the total revenue and marginal revenue differ. Relationship between total revenue and marginal revenue, or average and marginal revenue, depends upon the market wherein the seller is selling his commodity. Is that clear? So
Yes.
All in all, the thing is that we have to understand, we have two relationship to cover in this chapter. We will be understanding the relationship between the total and the marginal, and also what is the relationship between the average and the marginal. But because Seller may sell his commodity in the perfect competition, and he may also sell his commodity in the imperfect competition. So depending upon the market situation, the relationship will differ. So let's first understand the relationship between the total revenue and marginal revenue. And first of all, we will be discussing the relationship in context of the imperfect competition only. So just write it down, put the heading, relationship in case of imperfect competition. Imperfect competition. Okay, so first of all, we will be talking about the relationship in context of the imperfect competition. And since in case of imperfect competition, we have to cover two relationships. First, relationship between the total revenue and the marginal revenue, and then average revenue and marginal revenue. So first of all, we will be covering the relationship between the total and the marginal. So relationship number one, relationship between total revenue and margin. Okay, so let's understand the relationship. For that, in order to establish a relationship between total revenue and marginal revenue, let's take an example, and you will have to write it down. You will also required to note down the example. So let's suppose seller is selling these units 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And these are the prices of the commodity at which he is selling. And here we will be finding the total revenue. And because we need to establish a relationship between average revenue and marginal revenue, so average and marginal will also be calculated. Okay, so let's suppose Alexander and Steve, let's suppose price of the commodity is 10 rupees per unit. So seller used to sell 1 unit at rupees 10. Tell me, because we are talking in context of the imperfect competition, could you please tell me that whether in order to sell 2 unit of the commodity, whether he will have to charge the same price or he will have to reduce the price of the commodity if we are talking about the imperfect competition? Alexander.
Sir, in case of imperfect competition, it would reduce.
We'll have to reduce it.
Yeah.
So for 1 unit was sold at rupees 10, and if seller wants to sell 2 unit, so let's suppose he will have to reduce the price to 9, and to sell 3 unit he will have to reduce the price to 8, then 7, 6, 5, 4. So price here basically indicate that seller is reducing the price of the commodity in order to sell more quantity of the commodity. So now considering the price and quantity, we will be able to calculate the total revenue. By multiplying the price and quantity, we can calculate total revenue. So 1 into 10, we will get 10. Then 2 into 9, 18. 8 into 3, 24. 7 into 4, 28. And 6 into 5, 30. And 5 into 6, 30 again. And finally 28. Okay. Then to calculate average revenue, what we will do, sir, you have already explained in the last session that average revenue is always equals to price. So I can write the value of the average revenue equals to the price. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4. This will be the average revenue. Now marginal revenue. marginal revenue will be 10, and from 10 total revenue rises from 10 to 18, that means marginal revenue is 8. Then from 18 to 24, marginal revenue is 6. Then 24 to 28, marginal revenue is 4. Then 2. Then from 30 to 30, marginal revenue is 0, and then minus 2. Tell me, Alexander, is the calculation of average and the marginal revenue is clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now as we have prepared the table, now on this table we can easily create a relationship between the marginal revenue and the total revenue. So let me help you. So marginal revenue, you can see that till the 5th unit, right? Till the 5th unit, marginal revenue is continuously declining, but it is positive. Marginal revenue is decreasing, continuously decreasing, but it is positive. Positive basically means that it is not 0, neither it is negative. So till the 5th unit of output, marginal revenue of the seller is continuously decreasing because the price is decreasing, right? Now let's compare it with the we have to create the relationship between the total revenue and the marginal. Okay, so now you can see, let's focus on the total revenue. Now you can see till the 5th unit, when marginal revenue is decreasing, can you tell me what is happening to the total revenue till the 5th unit? Till the
It
how
increased.
is behaving? Tell me. Marginal revenue, on the one hand, it is increasing, but total revenue is continuously, marginal revenue is decreasing. Sorry, marginal revenue is decreasing, but on the other hand, total revenue is till the 5th unit, it is continuously increasing. Is that right? From 10, it goes to 18, then 24, then 28, and 30. Alexander, is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
So can we say that till marginal revenue decreases but remains positive, until then total revenue keep on increasing. It keep on increasing. Total revenue increasing, right? But you can see that total revenue is increasing at every time it is increasing at a decreasing rate. From 10 it goes to 18, that means there is an increase of 8 rupees. Then from 18 to 24, it increases, but it increases this time only by 6 rupees. Then from 20 from 24 to 28, it again increases, but this time it increases only by 4 rupees. And from 28 to 30, again it is increasing, but this time only by 2 rupees. Right? So can we say that until marginal revenue decreases but remains positive, then total revenue increases, but at a decreasing rate? Can we say that, Alexander?
Yes, sir.
So we can write it that total revenue is increasing, but at a decreasing rate, Please don't write anything now. Then you can see that at the 6th unit, yes, at the 6th unit, you can see that marginal revenue is getting 0, right? So when marginal revenue is getting 0, from 2, it goes down to 0. What is the effect on the total revenue? So total revenue become constant, right? From 30, it does not increase, it remains 30 only. So when marginal revenue is 0, can we say that total revenue becomes constant? Total revenue is constant. Can we say that?
Yes, sir.
So when marginal revenue is 0, total revenue is constant, and at the same time, total revenue is also at its maximum value. So you can see that when marginal revenue is 0, total revenue is constant, as well as total revenue is at its maximum value. So 30 is the maximum value, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now you can see that marginal revenue is getting negative at the 7th unit. So as soon as marginal revenue becomes negative, are you able to see that total revenue starts to decline from 30, it goes down to 28? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
So can we say that when marginal revenue becomes negative, when it becomes negative, can we say that total revenue finally starts declining?
Yes.
When marginal revenue becomes negative, total revenue starts to decline. So all of these statements is considered as a relationship between the marginal revenue and the total revenue. So let me write it down. Just a minute. Okay. So first of all, we will have to draw a diagram. We will be drawing a diagram. So this will be, let's take, this is y-axis and this is our x-axis. On the y-axis, we will be taking the value of the total revenue, and also the marginal revenue, because we have to establish relationship between the total and marginal. Therefore, we are taking the total and marginal on the y-axis, and on the x-axis we will be keeping the quantity of the commodity in units. Okay. Now, so as you can see, total revenue initially increases. So let's suppose total revenue is starting at from this point. At first unit, total revenue was this. Right now, you see, total revenue initially increases now from 10, it goes to 18, 24, 28, 30. Then after increasing till the fifth unit, it becomes constant, right? And after becoming constant, it starts to finally, it starts to decline. Right, Alexander?
Yes, sir.
So we have to indicate the all these values through our diagrammatic structure. So let's suppose total revenue, because initially it increases, so it will increase initially, it goes upward. So it will increase at a decreasing rate. No? So it increases at a decreasing rate like this. And after this point, it will become constant, right? So it is constant, and then it will start to decline. This is the total revenue. Tell me, is the diagram clear? Total revenue is initially increasing till this point.
Yes.
It is constant from this point to this point, and then finally it starts to decline. So this is total revenue. Now we have to draw the marginal revenue curve. So in order to draw the marginal revenue curve, just notice few things. Firstly, both marginal revenue curve and total revenue curve will start from the same point, because both have the same value at the first unit. So this will give you an idea that the total marginal revenue is going to start from this point, right? We found that marginal, basically the starting point of the marginal revenue will be the same as the starting point of the total revenue. Then we can also figure out that when total revenue becomes constant now, then at that point marginal revenue will be zero, right? When total revenue will be constant, then at that point marginal revenue will be zero. So we can say that at this point, when total revenue is constant and at its maximum, at that point marginal revenue will be zero. So this will be the point where marginal revenue will be zero, right? So we have found the starting point of the marginal revenue curve, right? We have found the point at which marginal revenue is going to be zero, right, Alexander? Now, after figuring out these points, the starting point and the point of zero, we can now prepare the marginal revenue. So marginal revenue will start from the same point, and as we know, marginal revenue decline throughout the various units. So marginal revenue will be something like this. This will be marginal revenue. So the starting point will be same. It will be zero. when total revenue is constant and at its maximum point, and after getting 0, it becomes negative. Tell me, Alexander, is this clear? Is the diagram clear?
Yes, sir.
You want me to explain it again, or is this clear?
I think it's clear.
This clear. Let me explain it again. Just a minute. Let me show you once more, so that you don't have to write it down. So first of all, what do? We will take the y-axis and we will take the x-axis. On the y-axis, we will be taking the value of the total revenue and the marginal revenue, and here we will take the quantity. So first of all, we will draw the diagram for the total revenue. It will be something like this. It will be an upward sloping concave shape curve. It will be like this, and then it will become constant, and finally it will start declining. So this is total revenue, and for marginal revenue, we will have to figure out the starting point of the marginal revenue and the point at which marginal revenue will be 0. So we know that when total revenue is constant and at its maximum, at the same point, marginal revenue will be 0. So since we are able to determine the starting point and the point where marginal revenue will be 0, now we can straightly draw the marginal curve, and it will be something like this. This is marginal revenue. Tell me, now it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So have you prepared this? Have you drawn this diagram?
No,
Please,
sir.
please note it down. Please draw this.
Okay.
This particular table.
Yeah, I wrote the table.
Please draw the diagram. And I'm writing the relationship just beside the diagram. Relationships. So first relationship will be when marginal revenue decreases but remains positive, then total revenue increases but at decreasing rate. Okay. Then the second relationship, when marginal revenue is 0, then total revenue will be constant and maximum. And finally, the last relationship, when marginal revenue is negative, then total revenue starts to decline. So these are the relationship, Alexander and Steve. Please write it down. Let me know when you are done.
sir. Done.
Okay. All right. So after that, we have one more relationship in case of imperfect competition, the relationship between the average revenue and the marginal revenue. So let's understand the relationship between average and marginal through this table only. So let's now focus on the average revenue and the marginal revenue part only. So now see, can we say that where as the seller sells more quantity of the commodity, marginal revenue continuously declines, as well as average revenue also declines? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That marginal, you can see that from the first point till the seventh point, marginal revenue is continuously declining from 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, it goes minus 2. And same goes with the average revenue. Average revenue is also declining, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 5, 4. And why average revenue is declining? Because average revenue is directly connected with the price. Since average revenue and price both are same, therefore as price will decrease, average revenue will always decrease. So you can we can write down the first relationship like that. We can say that marginal revenue and average revenue both decreases as the sales increases. As the seller sell more quantity of the commodity, both AR and MR decreases, right? And one more thing, can we also say that marginal revenue, when it starts declining, marginal revenue can be negative, can be zero as well, but average revenue can never be zero, nor it can be negative. Can we say that?
Yes, sir.
So you can see that marginal revenue is getting zero at the 6th unit, and it is also getting negative at the 7th unit. But average revenue can never be zero, nor it can be negative. So why it could not be zero? Because since average revenue is always equals to the price of the commodity, right? And price can never be zero. It can never happen that seller sells a certain number of quantity at zero price. So because average revenue can never be zero, hence it can also not be negative. But marginal revenue can be zero, can be negative. Two relationships are there. Then third, we can say that as output increases, both average revenue, marginal revenue decreases, but rate of decrease in marginal revenue is greater than the rate of decrease in the average revenue, right? See, marginal revenue is declining from rupees 10, it goes down to 8, it declines by 2 rupee. And let's look at the average revenue. Average revenue from 10, it goes down to 9. How much is the decline in the average revenue? Only 1 rupee. Again, from 8, it goes down to 6. Again, it reduces by 2 rupee. And this time, average revenue reduces by only 1 rupee. So that means we can say that both average revenue, marginal revenue decreases, but rate of decrease in marginal revenue is always greater than the rate of decrease in the average revenue. Can we say that, Alexander?
Yes, sir.
So how many relationship I have told you? 3 relationship. First of all, both will decline as the output increases. Second, marginal can be zero, can be negative, average can never be zero nor be negative. And fourth can be marginal will always decline at a greater pace as compared to the average revenue. All right, and we can also say that both average revenue and marginal revenue will start from the same point. That could also be one of the relationship. You can also write it. Done? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So based on the based on above table, let's first of all let's prepare the diagram for the average revenue and the marginal revenue as we did in case of the total and the marginal. So this will be our y-axis and this will be the x-axis. Okay, so can you tell me what values we will be taking on the y-axis? What values we will be indicating on the y-axis? We will be indicating the values of the average revenue, right? And
Marginal run.
Please note it down. Write it down. Revenue. And on the x-axis again, the quantity in terms of units. So as you already know that marginal revenue continuously decreases. Let's suppose it is starting from this point, it will continuously goes on declining. It will eventually become zero and it will also be negative. This is how the marginal revenue curve will be formed. Right? This is the point at which it is zero and this is the starting point. Now, how we will be drawing the average revenue? Since both start from the same point, so starting point of the average revenue will be same and it will also decline, but the rate of decrease in the average revenue is always less than the rate of decrease in the marginal revenue. So average revenue curve will be less steeper. It will be comparatively flatter as compared to the marginal revenue. So it will be something like this. This will be like this. So this will be our average revenue. So you can see that average revenue curve is above the marginal revenue. Why is that? Because average revenue, rate of decrease in the average revenue is always less than the rate of decrease in the marginal revenue. So marginal revenue decreases at a greater pace. Therefore, marginal revenue curve is below the average revenue curve. Number one. Secondly, you will notice that marginal revenue is getting zero as well as it is getting negative, but average revenue is not, neither it is touching the x-axis nor it is going down the x-axis. So therefore, why that is? Because average revenue can never be zero nor it can be negative. Alexander, is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now we can write down the relationship. Please draw this diagram and write down the relationship below this diagram. We can write down the relationship. Let me write it here. So relationship will be, first of all, we can say that as output, as firm sells more quantity, of commodity, both average revenue and marginal revenue decreases. Then we can also say that rate of decrease in marginal revenue is always greater than rate of decrease in average revenue. And third relationship can be marginal revenue can be zero and negative, but average revenue can never be zero nor it can be negative. So these are the three relationships between the average revenue and marginal revenue in case of imperfect competition. So from the examination point of view also, imperfect competition is important. Most of the time, relationship on the basis of perfect competition is not asked in your exams. Mostly the relationship between TR, MR or MR and AR is asked in exam only in context of the perfect competition, imperfect competition. Okay, so this is it for this session today. We will be doing the relationship between the perfect and the between the relationship between the total revenue and average revenue, total revenue and marginal revenue, as well as relationship between average revenue and marginal revenue in context of the perfect competition in the next session. We will probably complete this chapter within within half an hour of the next session, and then we will start a new chapter in the next session probably. So I hope everything that we discussed in today's session is clear to you, Alexander. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Do you have any doubt?
Yes, yes, sir, it is clear. I had a question which was in the financial statements. I mean, final accounts chapter.
Mhm.
Some of the questions where we prepare trading account and profit and loss account. In my textbook, it says create both of them and also do the journal entry.
Yeah. Okay. So we will be looking at the journal entry in the next session probably, because general entry will be done in case of adjustment entries only. So where there are adjustment entries, in that case we'll have to pass the general entries as well. So we have just started the adjustment entries. So probably we will be looking at the general entries in the next session.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So
Yep,
thank you so much,
thank you.
Linda. This is it. Thank you. Goodbye.